topic.
Emma, you know, you never hear,
not about this
Emma, you never hear about a trans man having an unfair advantage in male sport. Why is that? How come we never hear about that?
There are trans men because
you know why? You know why? Because they don't win.
Moral panic.
They don't
just
win
like it was
because they have inferior physiology.
Just like it was about how seductive.
We don't hear about it because it's not an issue. Because they can't win.
No,
let me bring in Luke.
Because these are issues that are tittillating to white liberals or
tittillating. How weird you would say titillating.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, what's ridiculous is that
for you it clearly is.
This is what Emma just tweeted out 15 minutes ago. Let's go ahead and take a quick listen before we get out of here, I guess.
One is that Hesketh and Gates have categorically denied any wrongdoing, and none has been proven against them. In Trump's case, it was a civil action, as you know, not a criminal action. The criminal case against him was shuffling paperwork over an alleged one-night stand with a porn star. So it's not quite how you categorized it. Deborah Lee, let me bring you in here.
Has this trans lawmaker been accused of rape? Has this trans lawmaker?
No, but actually, if you are a congresswoman, if you're a congresswoman who survives sexual assault, you should be entitled to feel safe in the restroom.
The presence of a trans woman in the bathroom. Oh gosh, you know, I'm in here in New York. There are a lot of multi-gender bathrooms, and I've gone to the bathroom next to a man. Oh my goodness, it was so fearful. What was I going to do
be quite
with the rest
fearful
of my life? I mean,
if I found you lurking next to me in a men's restroom, I'd feel fearful. Deborah Lee, let me bring you in here. I just think
that is a ridiculous accusation, Piers.
I didn't make an accusation. It was a statement of fact. I would feel fearful.
You would feel uncomfortable? Why would you feel uncomfortable?
And that's such a great point from Emma. So far, she's doing a really good job. And just to kind of add to her point, this is the reality of the situation. Republicans want to put this in men's restrooms. I don't think that's a good idea. So if Republicans had their way, you'd have people looking like this in the men's restroom. I'm not sure about you, Zach, but I don't think that's a good idea. Nor do I think it's a good idea that people like this are found in the women's restroom. Do you think that's a good idea? Because this is a trans man right here. Does he look like he'd be at home in a women's restroom?
To be honest, I don't give a where anybody goes to the bathroom, and that's where I think it comes down to. If I saw this person shitting next to me, I would be like, all right, whatever, dude. Like, I mean, we have an airport that was just redone in Kansas City, and almost all of the bathrooms there are gender neutral. Like, to be honest, I don't give a and I think it's such a fabricated, antiquated discussion to have. I think everybody's more comfortable in a single person bathroom stall because it's privacy. Everybody wants a little bit of privacy when they're taking a shit, right? So I don't think it's crazy to be like, hey, this is actually a path forward for the future, right? And to your other point about this person up here, I would be terrified that they were going to be a victim of sexual assault if they had to go anywhere near the Donald Trump administration, given the fact that it's crawling with perverts and goons that are already incredibly accused of sexual assault, if not people who have confessed to it already in documented ways like RFK or Matt Gaetz.
Oh, yeah. And to be clear, I agree with you about the restroom concept, but I'm just saying if there is going to be men's restrooms and women's restrooms, I think it's pretty clear that someone like this belongs in the women's restroom, given that she identifies as a woman.
Oh, for sure. I mean, people could go wherever the they want to. I was just doubling down that if I was kind of more in the camp of Emma, where it's like, do I really give a single who I run into in the bathroom with me? Like, not really.
Right.
Lurking around me in a men's urinal? Damn right, I feel like
urinal?
Who's lurking?
Well, what else would you be? If you were lurking around me in a men's urinal, accusation is a statement of fact. I would feel fearful.
You would feel uncomfortable? Why would you feel
uncomfortable? If you were lurking around me in a men's urinal, damn right, I'd feel uncomfortable.
Lurking? Who's lurking?
Well, what else would you be doing there?
Is this lawmaker lurking?
Pierce is the kind of guy who looks at you before he goes to the bathroom. He's like, don't no peeking, all right? Now keep your peepers up against the wall. And you're like, bro, I need a magnifying glass if I was going to peep at you in the bathroom.
What else would you be doing there?
Going to the restroom.
I don't want you going to my restroom. Stick in your own restroom. For my safety, never mind yours.
Okay, but would a man be lurking? Would a biological man is lurking next to you?
That's the whole point.
Why is there something in
Pierce, are you afraid of shitting next to a gay guy? I feel like deep down you are. I feel like deep down that 80s propaganda really got to you.
Why is there something inherently perverted about going to the bathroom? You right-wingers, and yes, I'm including you in this with this classical liberal BS, are so bad faith. It's incredible. You are linking sexual abuse and sexual assault to trans people inherently, and that is a bigoted statement.
I want trans people to have, I want them to have fairness and equality like the rest of us, just not where it erodes women's rights. But Deborah Lee, you've been listening to this patiently.
But separate but equal. Separate but equal.
We're four people on the panel.
Boom, separate but
Ooh.
equal. What a way to finish that one. Holy shit. I'm glad that Emma posted that. That was a banger exchange.
Yeah. Do you want to watch this a little more, Zach? Because they have the full video here on YouTube.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's go ahead and pull it up.
If trans care was available to all of these kids, if trans care was available to these kids, they would develop in the exact same way where none of this would even matter. And so back to what was being said before about these assaults on other people, back to what was being said before about assaults on these people. I think they should be prosecuted, and definitely I'm completely against the idea that we should let someone slide just based on their identity if they assault somebody, which is why I'm sure everybody on this panel that is obsessed with this issue has been talking repeatedly over and over again about the rape in male prisons by male prisoners repeatedly against their same biological gender.
That's
in fact,
wrong too.
it happens.
Yes,
so,
it is.
Right. So how many?
But you know what you don't. You know what you never hear, Emma.
That's a great point by Emma. In fact, one of the reasons why people are, I mean, like one of the like reasons why people are so afraid of going to jail is because it's pretty much understood that if you're a man, you're going to be sexually assaulted in jail, right? And it's kind of considered, it's baked into the cake as part of the punishment, right? Like that if you're going to prison, part of the punishment that you're going to receive is that you're going to be violated and dominated by another man. And it is something that's really, I mean, it's a huge problem. It's endemic in our prison and carceral system, right? We have actually created the first society in history where more men in America have been victims of rape than women because of the systemic rape that occurs in our prison system. And I have never heard Piers open his fat trap about that a single time. And it's a huge issue. And you'll note that people who are prison abolitionists, people who are advocates both for trans people and prison reform, they acknowledge it and they do speak up about it. Piers never will.
Emma, you know, you never hear, not about this Emma, you never hear about a trans man having an unfair advantage in male sport. Why is that? How come we never hear about that?
There are trans men because
you know why? You know why? Because they don't win. They don't win
like it was
because they have inferior physiology.
Just like it was about how seductive.
We don't hear about it because it's not an issue because they can't win.
Yeah, that's a lie, Piers. I can, off the top of my head, already think of one trans boxer, Patricio Manuel. You can take a look at this right here. Trans boxer Patricio Manuel wins fight against cisgender rival. This is from last year. Typically boxers who are cisgendered have a hard time booking fights. It's even harder if you're a trans male boxer. But yes, fought a cisgendered opponent, won, and was labeled a cheat anyway. So you can't have it both ways, Piers. Yes, this does happen, and yes, people do create phony outrage when it does. And I criticize it all around. I think people who want to compete should compete.
Let me bring in. All right, let me bring in Luke.
These are issues that are titillating to white liberals or
titillating.
White,
how weird you would say titillating.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, what's ridiculous is that
for you it clearly is. You're not focusing on the more systemic rape issue in our prisons and in our.
You haven't asked me about that.
Our facilities.
You
in
haven't
this
asked me
country.
about that.
But I just did. Why haven't you been talking about male rape and male?
I think it's terrible.
Way
Shameful.
more likely to occur than a trans.
Luke, jump in.
Then dedicate more segments to it. Then dedicate more segments to it.
I'll take your advice on what segments we should be doing. We are the fastest growing YouTube channel in the world, so we're probably getting it about right. Luke.
Okay, yeah. So I do think with all these things, even the Lake and Riley case as an example, we always want to be super. Understand the gravity and the pain of the individual stories that we're talking about that connect to larger issues, but then also include the broader context, which is that with this bathroom issue, you don't see in the data increase in assaults with trans people in the bathroom they identify with, but you do see when they're forced to go into the bathroom they don't identify with or that's aligned with the biological sex they were born as, an increase in assaults on the trans person. So that's important to remember. And I don't think we need to merge every single issue because I think as Emma referenced, but as a lot of people acknowledge, while we don't understand what the fixation is necessarily or why this is used to distract from all these other more consequential issues, I don't think most people have an issue with leagues, especially professional leagues, implementing restrictions to make sure things are fair. Sometimes that's have you transitioned enough where you don't have the edge or whatever it might be. It's fine for those leagues to make sure that it's fair. And I don't think that debate is actually going on like this program might make it out to be.
Okay, look, we're going to move on to another. We're going to move on to something else. I mean, look, I just don't think there is any debate to be had about the sport issue. I totally agree.
But on the bathroom.
Well, hang on. I totally agree with Trump about the sport thing. Trans.
Yeah, you agree with Trump about in everything, Pierce. Water's wet. Oh, I actually agree with Donald Trump. Yeah, no shit. God, you're a MAGA mouthpiece. And I wanted to also throw this up, Gavin, because our favorite lefty, TYT affiliated Twitter account, Brianna Wu, has come in to clarify all of the hoops that you have to jump through if you want to piss in the bathroom of your choosing, in her eyes. Now, she says self-ID in the women's bathroom or locker room? Hell no. Natal males who are part of the non-binary social project in there? Also, hell no. But trans women on a medical pathway diagnosed by a professional on powerful drugs that inhibit erections? We are a threat to no one. Bro, stop it. Just stop it. Oh, only privileged people like me who are able to have expensive cosmetic surgery and be on expensive drugs. We're allowed to use the bathroom where we want. Everybody else, no. I'm the exception, guys. I'm one of the good trans people. And somebody adds that when you realize your own grifting can come back and bite you, it's like, yeah, dude, they're not going to accept you if you keep, adjusting the goalposts to fit their, arguments. It's crazy.
Yep. Either way, from what we've seen, Emma Vigeland, great job on Piers Morgan. That was absolutely the correct approach to take, specifically on a show like that, on a panel, because let's be honest, Piers Morgan, it is all about the drama. It is all about the clash, the friction. People have called it like the Jerry Springer of political talk shows, right? And I think Emma understood that. She came in, she was unafraid to make her case in a very unabashed way, and in a way that was pretty hard to argue with. I think that was, a very well done job, in my opinion. So shout out to Emma. And ultimately, yeah, I do agree with you, Zach, that bathrooms should, for the most part, just be gender neutral. They can be single stalled. That's how it is at the Kansas City airport. We ain't San Francisco. We ain't New York City. We're just a humble Midwestern city. And guess what? How many issues have there been at the KC airport as a result of the gender neutral single stall bathrooms? Zero. Haven't been any cases of assault. Haven't been anything crazy. Everyone seems to have figured it out. You just go in the stall, you close the door, you do your business, and then you leave.
100%. But anyway, that was a little bit of a bonus segment. Glad we got that. We'll probably cut a clip of that. Emma did a spectacular job wiping the floor with Piers Morgan. We'll be back tomorrow with more bangers.